Hello, my friends. This is Jovanka from JovankaCiares.com, and today we're going to talk about the Kardashians. No, that's not true. We're going to talk about something that was featured in one of the Kardashian episodes that I had about 2 dozen people calling me and finding out what is this thing. I know you've mentioned this to me before, and I just saw it in an episode of the Kardashians. I don't personally follow them. I'm not a fan. I don't have anything against them, but I also am not a fan and I don't watch their show. But as you know, they are hard to miss. And it just so happened that in an episode or two ago, evidently one of the members was trying to do a deep cleanse. I don't know exactly the reasons why, but she was trying to do a deep cleanse and she learned about Ayurveda and she was doing this thing called Panchakarma. And as somebody who practices Ayurveda and incorporates it into my practice, I have mentioned Ayurveda and its products to many of my clients for years. So a lot of my friends and clients came to me and said, can you just do a video and talk a little bit about what that is and how can people benefit from it? So here it is. So let's first and foremost talk about what is Panchakarma. And for those of you who don't know, let me go back and talk about what is Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the Eastern medicine tradition of India and Southeast Asia. It's been around for about 6,000 years. There is lots of documented records of the practices and the systems and the foods and the ways in which they utilize all of mindfulness practices, physical practices, foods, and herbs to help people restore balance. Because Ayurveda believes that diseases are just that, they're imbalances. And as we continue to go through life every day, every season, every year, we may get out of balance. And if we use mindfulness techniques, foods, herbs, and physical practices, we can restore balance and hopefully stay healthy for a very long time. Ayurveda literally means science of life. And what we know today as yoga comes from Ayurveda. What we know today as Kama Sutra, it's under the umbrella of Ayurveda. Even modern systems of medicine, like what we know today as modern surgery, could actually trace its roots all the way back to this amazing form of healing. So, and it's had a new kind of resurgence in the last maybe few years, especially in the Western world, as the hipsters from the Western world went and traveled to the other side of the world and realized these things are really amazing for us. They brought it back to the West and they've become really popularized. And as you know, in my book, Reclaiming Wellness, I mention Ayurveda and I interview an Ayurvedic practitioner to talk a little bit about what it is and how it can benefit us. I absolutely am fascinated by Ayurveda and its constitutions and all the things. So what about Panchakarma? Panchakarma is essentially a form of cleanse. It's a type of treatment that's very unique in the sense that it includes preventative, curative, and promoting actions for various diseases. It's essentially a way for you to remove impurities at a cellular level, things that have been sitting inside of your body potentially since before you were born, right? Because in utero, babies get fetuses get a lot of crap from their mother, depending on their diet and their stress levels. And then that stays in our bodies at a cellular level and it causes trauma. It causes your body to be, to struggle and continue to be out of balance. And it could eventually manifest maybe 10, 20, 30, 40 years later into infertility or issues with your hormone system or autoimmune disorders. And so while Western medicine may not have really clear answers as to why some of these diseases manifest, Eastern medicine traditions like Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, and others believe that it is a combination of the toxins that we get from the environments, the things that we feed our minds, the stuff that we eat on a daily basis, the water that we shower with, the water that we drink, the air that we breathe, and all of that stuff will cause such a deep, um, dense toxicity in toxic load in the body that eventually it manifests as diseases. So we do panchakarmas, which are these amazing cleanses. They tend to be, I think the traditional one was 21 days. Now in the modern era, we do versions of it. We could do 7 days, we could do 14 days. Most people, what they do is, first of all, you can't do them at home. You have to do them with a practitioner, because panchakarma involves um, various procedures. Pancha means 5. Karma means procedures in this context. And so we're talking about 5 procedures that the ancient ways of doing it included purging, included enemas, lots of oil massages, and lots of other ways to get you to push out debris. In the modern era, if you are at home and you live in a big city, you can find an Ayurvedic treatment center and go there and talk to a practitioner and get them to help you out. So I went to online and found the little uh, pieces of the episode that the Kardashian was doing. I think I can't remember their name, but anyway, one of the ladies was doing the treatment. I believe because she wanted to. Oh, now I remember. She wanted to get pregnant, and she's having a hard time, and she doesn't understand, so she feels like she needs to cleanse. This is not necessarily scientific, but I have personally seen dozens of women go through a deep cleanse of this nature and be able to get pregnant that quickly. And again, this is not scientific. It may be just that your body is toxic and you just need to cleanse, but it may be that you have other serious conditions. And I recommend that you check with your doctor to make sure that you are okay otherwise. But in this case, this lady is the picture of health. So she believes that the reason why she's not getting pregnant is because she's overly toxic. So her and her partner are now going in through this particular cleanse. They do a cleanse a pre-cleanse that involves no outward energy expenditure. So that includes no exercise, no sexual activity, a very clean diet, no sugar, nothing that is super or overly inflammatory, no caffeine. That is on purpose, because the process of cleansing could be really heavy on the body, and it could actually make you really sick if you're not prepared for it. Also, energetically, you are about to expel a lot of things, both physically and energetically, and you don't want to be depleted. And when you engage in sexual activity, when you engage in workouts, you expel energy, and so you want to kind of retain your essence, if you will, in order to get ready for the cleanse. And then looking at my notes, apparently what she did was 7 days. So she did the pre-cleanse, as I mentioned, and then the cleanse itself is only 7 days, and it includes things like oil massages, ginger baths that are fantastic, yoni steams, a version of abhyanga, and something called shirbashi, which is a nervous system oil massage to kind of calm your central nervous system. One of the things that I noticed in the episode is that her partner has a lot of pitta and also a lot of vata, and which are some of the constitutions in Ayurveda. And so his brain is very scattered, like he needs to be busy all the time. At some point, he even asked for his phone. And no, if you're gonna cleanse, you gotta involve all of your senses in the cleanse, both body, mind, and soul in the cleanse, and just be committed to truly allow your body to go places it's never been and to be cleansed in a way that it's never been. So if you are watching this and you're wondering, how am I going to embrace this and get something out of it without breaking the bank, right? As you can imagine, some of these treatments could run thousands of dollars. Presumably the treatment center where the Kardashian went to is, 5-star and super expensive. You don't need to have an extra line in your budget to embrace some of these practices. So here is the way I would recommend you to do this. The first thing that I would recommend is that you get a book, learn about Ayurveda, and learn about your constitution and your dosha. There is a handful of books. My suggestions for you is to work on a book that it was written by a Westerner, because there's a lot of books written by Indian people and Ayurvedic practitioners, but they're not necessarily easy to understand. One of the books that I absolutely love is called Ayurveda for Beginners. And here is let me do this like this. Here you go. Ayurveda Beginner's Guide. And the author is Susan Wise Boland. It is a really great beginner's guide book written by somebody that was, I believe she is from the United States, but she was trained in Ayurveda. And I think it'll help you understand a little bit more from a Western mentality, because a lot of the books from India are poorly translated, or they're really, really dense, because Ayurveda is one of those things where you will be studying it for 30 years and still be considered a novice. It's that vast and that robust. It's really amazing. But you can benefit from it even if you are not an expert. So get the book, learn about your dosha or your constitution. And then I will start with a recipe called Khichari, Kitchari. Find the recipe for Khichari. It's one of the most cleansing, nourishing, grounding, warming, nurturing meals that humans have ever created. High in protein, 100% vegan, and very, very cleansing. So you can start by consuming those during your cleanse, and you might want to do just 1 or 2 days just to give it a try. And on those 2 or 3 days, you're going to consume lots of warming, grounding teas. So ginger tea, cinnamon tea, or fennel tea. And you're going to have like maybe some smoothies, some green juices, and some khichari. And that's all you're going to eat. You can have as many as you want for 2 or 3 days to allow your body to sort of like relax into it for a few days and allow your digestive system to actually take a break. I wholeheartedly believe that cleanses need to be 100% plant-based or 100% vegan for them to be effective. No point in putting inflammatory foods in your body. What's the point? And if you, Ayurveda believes a lot in ghee, which is cow milk based. Is a type of butter, clarified butter. If you're vegan, I would use mushrooms or mushroom broth in lieu of ghee. The Panchakarma, by definition, involves a lot of oil massages, a lot of oil going in and oil coming out. So that's part of the reason why they use ghee a lot. But if you're a vegan, you can use mushrooms, mushroom broth, and add some healthy oils in it to help you process the foods. And then I will do, while you're doing the cleanse, you shouldn't be doing any workouts, any big exercises, but you can do heat, you can do saunas, you can do steam rooms, where I mentioned in the book, there's an entire chapter about how to use oil and heat. And in the book, I mentioned the Abhyanga massage. It's an oil massage, and it's fantastic. It's really great. It's almost an integral part of this Panchakarma cleanse that we're talking about. If you need to move for whatever reason, you can do a little bit of bouncing. So in a trampoline, just a few minutes every day. And then at the very end of each day, you massage your feet with some sesame oil, and you drop a few essential oils on the sesame oil. So you put a little bit of sesame oil on your hands, and then you drop lavender or ylang ylang or valerian or chamomile or whatever it is that will help you fall asleep and relax. And you rub it on your feet and massage it as you recite your mantra or say your prayers and get ready for bed. Put some socks on, make sure that your feet are supported, and then you go to bed. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that is certainly not a Panchakarma by any stretch of the imagination, but you'll be doing a lot of the principles of Panchakarma. You'll be using oils to help you expel. You'll be using herbs to help you kind of cleanse the body. You'll be using a plant-based diet to help your digestive system kind of like push debris out. And if you want to take it a little bit further because you're constipated or you feel like you want to take an extra step at removing debris from your intestine, you can use, just for those 2 or 3 days, you can use magnesium citrate, or you can use cáscara sagrada or sacred bark to help you as a bowel cleanser. The heat, the sauna, the steam rooms, the oil are going to be very cleansing. They're going to push debris out as well. So it's a win-win. It's something that you can do. The entire thing will probably cost you in products no more than $20 to $25. You can do it for 3 to 4 days, then go back to your regular routine. If you want to do it longer, you can do it for as long as 14 days. I have personally done Panchakarmas for 14 days. I've never done one where you go to a retreat for 21 days, but that is in my bucket list. To go to India. You don't have to go very far, actually. New Mexico, in Albuquerque, they have a phenomenal Ayurvedic center and school, and they do Panchakarmas there, and they are fantastic. And like I said, I can't explain to you how many people I know with PCOS, with endometriosis, with any and all, with perimenopause, truly struggling to get pregnant or to cleanse or to lose weight or whatever it is. And they do this 21-day cleanse and they come back completely rejuvenated, and they are happily pregnant in a matter of just a month or 2. So again, this is not scientific, and I'm not saying that it will happen for you. You have to do your research. Get a book like Beginners for Ayurveda. Get a book like Reclaiming Wellness, and make sure that you check it out and try it out. Thank you so much for being here. Please, please, please subscribe and click the notification bell. Make sure that you share this video with all of your friends. Leave a comment or question if you have any. I would love to hear from you. And make sure that you subscribe for more tips and a jolt of motivation for your healthy, happy, and beautiful life. See you soon.